This is Pre-Algebra Lesson 4.3. The title of 4.3 is Solving Equations by Adding or Subtracting. So, if you can solve equations, you can use known information to find unknown information. So I don't know if you've ever seen these balance scales before, but it says you think of an equation as a balance scale. When you do something to one side of an equation, you must do it to the same thing to the other side. So, if I want to know what this x is, okay, I can take off 4 from the left side, and if I take off 4 from the right side, my balance scale would still be balanced, and then I know that x equals 2. So that bigger x would be equivalent to 2 smaller ones. So this is just a visual of solving equations. So this is just a review. What I want you to put in your notes are these properties: the addition property of equality and the subtraction property of equality. Pretty much what they say is, if I have an equation like 1e over 2 equals 10, if I add 3 to both sides, it stays the same. 13 equals 13, but I have to do it to both sides. If you only did it to one side, you'd have 13 equals 10. Like if I didn't do it to this side, 13 equals 10, which doesn't work. So you have to do it to both sides. So it's the same thing here. 12 divided by 2 equals 6. If I minus 4 from both sides, 2 equals 2, and it stays the same. So, try these 4 problems, and then we will go over them. Okay, so I'm going to do my same thing where I draw my line. I want to isolate my variable, get it by itself. So I'm going to get rid of this 7. So how I get rid of it is I minus 7 from both sides. So then I get A equals 39. Remember, you can check every one of these by putting it in there. Is 7 plus 39, does that equal 46? Yep, so I know I got it right. Next, I want to isolate my variable, so get B by itself. So that means I'm going to add 10 to both sides. Since this is minus 10, I do the opposite, which is add 10. So then I know that B equals 6. Negative 4 plus 10 is 6. And then you plug it in right here. 6 minus 10 is negative 4. So that works. Next, I have 9 plus C equals negative 10. So I want to get C by itself. So I'm going to get rid of 9 minus 9. So C equals negative 19. Plug it in right there. 9 plus negative 19 is negative 10. Perfect. And lastly, I want to get D by itself, so I'm going to minus 104 from both sides. So that leaves me with negative D equals negative 29. Now, I can't have negative D. If you noticed all the other answers, I have A here, I have B here, and I have C here. Those are all positive letters. I cannot have negative D. So what you do is you divide both sides by negative 1. Because negative 1 really doesn't do anything to the answer. It doesn't change the number. It's the identity property. But if I have 2 negatives, if I have a negative divided by a negative, it becomes a positive, because 2 negatives make a positive. So what happens is D equals 29. Now plug that in. Is 104 minus 29 75? Yes. So I know my answer is correct. All right, so next is a little bit tricky of a situation. What it is writing problem situations. So they're going to give you the equation, just like back here, how I gave you these 4 equations. Now they want you to make up a real-world situation. So here is an equation. S minus 286 equals 74. So it tells us, step 1, translate the symbols into words. So this equation represents 286 subtracted from some original amount, and that some original amount is our S. The result of the subtraction is 74. So what they do is they write it out. So they write the original amount S, so that's this first part right here, minus, that's easy, we know that minus sign, 286 is the equal sign, and then 74. So they write each part of the equation. Now what they did is they just picked something, and they picked songs. So they wrote, okay, this is S songs minus 286 songs is 74 songs. So then you have to be a little creative and make up a situation. So what they said is, Rita deleted 286 songs from her audio player. She has 74 songs left. How many songs did Rita have on her audio player before she deleted 286 songs? So that is the question. You would set up the equation just like this, S minus 286 equals 74, and then you would see she had 360 songs on her iPod. So, try this problem. Describe a problem situation that matches the equation n plus 41 equals 157. So I like to use money, so I'm going to say n is some amount of money, n amount, plus 41 is 157. So I am going to say it's money, so I have n dollars. So I'm going to say, okay, I have some money saved, and I just got $41 for my birthday. Now I have $157 total. How much did I start with? Now, everybody can have a different problem. That's totally fine. It's just use your own imagination. Totally fine. So now it says for B, solve the equation. So what you do is you minus 41 from both sides, and n equals 116. So if I have some money saved and I just got $41 for my birthday, now I have 157 total. How much did I start with? Well, I started with 116 plus 41, and that equals 157, so it makes sense. So make sure you go back over your problem that you set up to make sure it makes sense. And that is it for your notes.